Hello, hello, hello. We are back. And I say we because I've got a new friend. I've got a guest. His name's Liam. Here he is.
Oh, hello. How are
Hello,
you doing?
Liam.
How are you? All right, yeah.
I am fabulous. This is
Good.
this is the new duo. This is going to take Leeds House. We've got a new show, White Noise.
Good. I'm glad we both got yellow one, so it's good.
We have got yellow one. And we've got yellow in this as well, mate. Check this out.
Leeds.
Leeds.
Leeds,
Liam,
Leeds.
Liam. How do
Hello.
you feel?
I feel happy and excited, and the season is just about to start, and I'm ready for it. I feel we've had a great pre-season. We brought in some great players, and we're going to bring in some more great players. And going from this time last year, when, if you remember, I said we'd finish 18th, hopefully. That we, I think we'll finish higher than that this year. What about you? How are you feeling about it?
You know, I'm forever optimistic about Leeds United, Liam, as you well know. I think this season just gone. I predicted us to finish 8th. I predicted us to emulate Bielsa's first season in the Premier League, and if not, better it. But we'll get into it all. We'll get into the preseason. We'll get into the transfer business. We'll get into the predictions for the season, and then we'll talk about Forrest, our first game of the season. But first, before we get onto that, please, if you're watching, like, subscribe, share, and hype. Talk to your friends about becoming Leeds fans because we need more. Because our waiting list for season tickets isn't big enough. We need some more there, don't we, to make that stadium even bigger.
James, I went to Legoland last weekend and I did about 300 yards, and in that space, 5 people came to me and all did the salute because I had my Leeds top on. So there we go. When you say we need more fans, we're everywhere. We are everywhere.
We do. And I just want, when I say more fans for Leeds United, I mean more fans for this show. So you can come and watch. So we'll get on to it first. I was going to get all of the results that we had in pre-season and put them on a little bit of a little display and talk about it, but it took me ages editing these videos, so I haven't been able to do that. But I remember all the results. I think you do too. So we'll get on to pre-season. You said you've been happy with pre-season. If I remember rightly, we played Wrexham, lost 3-2. Probably should have won the game. I still say that first goal was offside, even though if it was a good goal. We went on to beat Sunderland 1-0 with a freak goal from Mecha. We then took on Liverpool, went 2-0 down, come back and won 4-2. We then played Leipzig in a 2-hour-long match, which we won 1-0 in like 2 60-minute games. We won 1-0 in both, so 2-0 overall. A draw with Man United. The penalties don't count. Just going to say that. And then we finished off with a 4-0 win against Augsburg. So, Leon, you said you enjoyed that pre-season. Tell me, how much did you enjoy it?
Well, I watched all the games, to be honest. Even when I've obviously just mentioned I was at Legoland, I still walked around with my phone in my hand watching the Leipzig game. I feel like it's never about the result. It's all about the performance and how people are gelling and how people are getting on well with each other and stuff like that. And I feel like by the time we got to the Augsburg game, you could see that there's a connection between the players. If you go to like each game, like Wrexham, I watched it, but I weren't that bothered about what was happening in the game. It was just see if we were going to get players played who'd been in the World Cup, see if they were coming back, see where they were and what was going on. More excited about who was going to take over number 1 goalie, things like that at that point. And then you say, I actually did pay for the stream for the Liverpool game because I couldn't find it. So I actually watched that, paid for that. Thought we were brilliant in the second half. But again, different teams, everything's different, isn't it? You know, the team they played in the first half compared to the team we played in the second half, complete different teams. And by the time we got to Leipzig, which I think are a good team, they've done quite well over the last couple of years. We were much better than them, and we could even afford to play Nemacha and Pirro and all these other players. But they're not that great players, are they? So they seem to do well, and so we did all right there, I think. But yeah, what did you think?
I mean, you don't really take too much from pre-season result-wise. Anyway, you don't. It's more about how we're playing, who's looking good in pre-season, who's if there's anyone trying to make a statement and get back in the team. I think, like, for example, I thought Longstaff was pretty good throughout the whole of pre-season. Every time he played, he looked good. Nonto as well. I thought he played well. I know you're not a massive fan of Nonto, but I thought he played well, especially in the Man United game. But yeah, and it was more of like a continuation of last season. We was performing the way we were. Obviously, fitness wise, we weren't all there from the start. But I think it's important for a player like Calvert-Lewin to get a good pre-season in, because he missed it for us last season, and it took him a while to get going. So I think it's important for that. And it's just like, it's not wholesale changes that we've made in transfers. We'll get into the transfer business in a little bit, but it's seeing the players that played well last season stepping back up and doing it again. But,
players like you've just said, like Longstaff and that, who were like, basically they were like subs, weren't they? And they were bit part players. The fact that he's gone away and trained constantly, I think he was actually training at the Newcastle ground while he's been away in the summer. He's actually been training.
Trying to go home.
Yeah, wanted to go home. Yeah, but he's tried to put the effort in. And I think like Harry Wilson did the same as well. They've actually not probably gone on holiday as such, but they've managed to actually want to be ready for the season, which is a really good steadying, like you're saying. It's already shown with Longstaff playing really well in the friendlies and stuff. So he's doing all right for himself, ain't he?
Yeah. Also, as well, like it was good seeing, because Fark's not been massive apart from obviously Harry Gray. Not Harry Gray, Archie Gray, should I say? Apart from Archie Gray, he's not really been too keen to play youngsters. And it was, I know it's only pre-season, but getting a look at some of them, Linu, I thought Linu struggled in the Wrexham game, but after that he looked okay. But that Mills lad, the Callum Mills, I think his name is, looked really good. Like he looked really good.
I think did they get him from Man City or somewhere like that? I think they've gone from another top team. Right. Yeah, they've gone from another top team. Yeah, he did look really good, and I think he did really well last year as well. He looks like I'm not saying he, like you just said. I think if they buy someone really good before the transfer window closes, he probably won't play. But he's definitely. I thought he was quite good. You know what I mean? And I also. We've got. I think they got beat 6-1 yesterday, didn't they? But they've, the under-21s are looking quite good. They've got some good players, because I think they're all potentially trying to get through, a bit like Creswell's trying to get through and stuff like that. They're all training with the first team, aren't they? So they're doing all right.
But that's what you're looking at. I mean, Leeds have always been sort of club to good reputation for youngsters and bringing them through, and I think it's high time that we start maybe seeing a couple of them come through. I don't know if they're all going to make it. I don't, they'd never do. I know Cresswell. I kind of like him, and I'm not too sure about him. I've seen him in the under-21s, and he looks decent, but he doesn't stand out. If you know what I mean. He played all right in the pre-season, but Mills is the one I was looking at, thinking. So I've seen him in the under-21s like last season, because I watched him quite a lot. And I seen him, but he didn't stand out. But he looked like he matured. He didn't look out of place, basically, is what I'm trying to say, when he was playing against, Sunderland. And he looked really good against Wrexham, but he played well against Sunderland. And the little cameos after that he played, he did well. We'll get onto the transfer business. But I do want to mention as well, like, when we played Man United, Trafford made his debut.
Yeah.
It sounds weird, but I was actually quite happy with the fact that in the first half, in particular, they pressured us a bit. And the reason I say that is because I wanted to see James Trafford. I wanted to see him be a goalkeeper, which is weird. Do you know what I mean? It's like I didn't want to see him in goal and then not have to do anything because I want to see him doing things. So the fact that he played against Man United and they sort of they were better first half and they put us under a bit of pressure. I was glad to see that, so I could see James Trafford being a goalkeeper because I'm really really excited about him playing.
To be fair, Jimmy, I know I'm interrupting you a little bit there. So the fact that you did concede that goal is fine. The fact that you made three classic saves in that first half. I was talking to my wife and I was just how excited I was about them saves. That there's something to look forward. It's like, I agree with you. It's completely something to look forward to. The fact that he's a goalie, the fact that obviously people won't know, but we obviously go to the games quite a lot together and we do a lot of different things like that, don't we? But watching like Trafford and stuff like that in live, especially when like Matteo is clean through that time and after the first minute, oh my god, and then you think, oh, he's going to get the rebound. No, he's not going to get the rebound either because he's done it. And then there's like another save in the second half and another save in the second half. And you think, oh god, that goal is amazing. And as soon as he got mentioned, it's quite funny really because we've got a WhatsApp group with a couple of lads who are from like Coventry City fans and stuff like that, and they were like saying if we can get Trafford on loan, and I was like, he'll come to Leeds, and they were like loads of laughing emojis and stuff like that going on. And so the fact that I actually saved that, and then obviously used it when Trafford did sign for Leeds because
sure, roll up their asses. That's what I say. Roll up their asses, mate. And also, he was an outfield player as a youngster, and quite decent by all accounts. I don't think he would ever made it to the level he has as a goalie, as a midfielder, and you can tell he's very, very calm.
Well, I was going to talk about it later. On in when we talk about transfers, but I think is it Alan Dunbar or something who works for the Talk Sport. He was talking about Trafford and just saying the Augsburg game. He watched them and he said like the footwork of Trafford, which is immense.
Yeah,
how he can play with that ball and quick fire kicks, little taps to the side of either side or a 60-yard pass to someone's feet. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. He also said that if Guardiola would have had a bit of faith in him last year, Man City would have won the league last year, and if they would have won the league, he would have picked. He would have been picked above Pickford, and he would have saved that shot against Argentina. So that's the type, and that's the player we've got. People are talking like that, saying that he would have been he's a world classic goalie. So the fact that we've got him, is. I was going to say, but here's the signing for me so far across the whole of what's gone on across the Premier League. The fact that we've managed to get someone of that ability, and I don't care about whether we get selling clauses or whether we have to sell him after a certain fee or whatever. He said he's in to enjoy football and wants to have a laugh. He wants to have a laugh and he wants to have a laugh and a joke, and he wants to enjoy his football. The fact that he's come to Leeds, that's a place where he probably can enjoy his football because he'll be the number one. He'll be liked as a character. I mean, I think, I'm going to say because a Leeds fan, but I think that they seem to get on well with each other. I think that he would be here for years to come. So I'm not too worried about all these selling clauses and all these other little bits about Trafford because the fact that I've paid my money to go and see him every week, I'll be happy for that.
Yeah.
So I think it's all right.
He is, and it's the selling clauses and stuff. It's not what people said it was. They say like Man City can buy him back whenever they want, and it's literally not that. It's they get the 20% on any profit that we make. That's it, and they get first. Like if a team comes in to put a bid in, they can match it basically.
Yeah,
but it's all in our heat.
Has Trafford actually got a thing in his contract to say that if someone offers X amount of money that we have to sell him,
like a release clause?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. I just know that Man City have got like the matching thing, and I know that if they'll get 20% of any profit that we make.
That's what I'm saying. That bit's always been like publicised, hasn't it? But the like
Yeah.
get out. I call it get out clause, not release clause.
Yeah.
Is never been mentioned that much, but that's done on Trafford. I think a lot. I don't know who these people are, like maybe like Adam Underwood or whatever. Who else is in that group of people? But they must be very good at negotiating. They must be very good at how they bring in. The fact that we can get players like this and not have a fear of that, and the fact that only a couple of years ago we were getting excited over like £2 million signings and stuff like that, to now where, and I'm not saying that spending a lot of money is always the best thing to do, but we know that money is worthwhile, isn't it? The difference between having it between the sticks this year than last year was we probably wouldn't have drew with Bournemouth. We probably wouldn't have drew all these games where we lost. We probably wouldn't have lost to Spurs at the start of the season. We wouldn't, all these different I think he's a save of about 12, 13 points a season, which possibly would push us up the league.
Definitely, mate. Another player I want to talk about pre-season. I know we've gone on a bit about Trafford, but is Rodon, Joe Rodon. I think he's at the end of the season. He got a lot of stick for some reason. I don't know what happened. He got injured against West Ham. He come out of the team for a little bit. And then all of a sudden, everyone was just like, yeah, he's a backup now. He's, he needs replacing. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I think he got injured against Sunderland. He got Sunderland, that lad.
His FA Cup game, he got injured, didn't he? He got wiped out.
Yeah, but I just think a bit before that, the Sunderland.
Oh, yeah.
Your man battered him twice, didn't he? And he went off. And I think Leeds won the next game, and everyone's saying, "Oh, we play much better now without Rodon." And he's like, "Not too sure, mate." But yeah, I agree with that. I think like Rodon, who is now our new right winger, is somebody who is yeah. And I was going to ask that question to you, Jim. Even if we get this lad from Switzerland, Alvedi, is that how you say his name?
Avedi or something,
yeah. Who is playing in that free? Because I think that it won't change apart from Tarek will play instead of Strauch. Apart from that, I think, I think he's going to be a backup player. So yeah, I'm happy again with defensive work as well and who we've brought in there. I've even read today that people, I mean, I don't do Twitter anymore, but people were saying that bring back Firpo. Firpo's only worth is up for market for 2.5 million. And it's just like, the scale.
No,
yeah, but I'm sure that the owners are not looking at Firpo. I'm sure they're looking at James Justin, actually, aren't they? Probably thinking, well, he can cover that for that period of time. But I feel like going back to your Rodon thing. Sorry, Jimmy, I digress. That he's our warrior, isn't he? And
man.
Yeah, and if we all manage to like stand like he stands before the game kicks off and stuff like that, and put the fear into the players because he's doing like a New Zealand war chant or something. That's fine, isn't it? But he's definitely. And it's interesting that Fark said that between the three of them, if Ampadu's not playing, they're all going to be captains, aren't they? Because even Biel was captain the other day, wasn't he? So it's interesting that he sees all the defenders as like leaders of some kind, but they all are for their country anyway, aren't they? So
They talk about Mihajlovic as being a very sort of hard to come by defender because he's a left-sided centre back, and there's not a lot of them around, especially with good quality, and he's really good. But I think the same when you talk about a fast centre back, because you don't get many speedy centre backs, and Rodon is quite rapid. He's a fast player, and I think that's indispensable, especially in the Premier League. It's indispensable having a quick defender, and he's not just quick though. He's a good player. You see, like you say, he's been bombing up and down the wing and putting in decent crosses and stuff. So he's been like one of my favourite players since we got him in. I just think he's I think he's incredible. But I just don't know where it came from. I don't know where all the sort of, I think like Leeds fans, especially on social media. I'm not saying all Leeds fans, but social media Leeds fans, they like to have their scapegoats, don't they? They like to pick on a few players. Aronson is like the number one hatred one.
Yeah,
he's still there. No one's going to overthrow him while he's at this club and while he's still playing. But Rodon seems to have crept in there now. Now Strout's gone as well. It's weird how Leeds fans do that. But yeah, I thought it's been good pre-season. Is there any other players that stood out for you in pre-season, mate?
I was going to just say that I have to watch myself again next season if I'm going to start shouting my abuse at Aronson and make sure his wife or girlfriend is not anywhere near me, because obviously I just seem to always have the family member sitting next to me or something when I start abusing the players. So I've got to make sure that's not happening next year. So yeah. But yeah, I was going to just say, because even just talking about like the speed of Rodon, I know we're going to move on to someone else, but the Man United game, when he passed it inside to Wilson, Wilson took on, I don't know who took on someone anyway, and then passed it back out to the wing, and Rodon wasn't there. But the interesting thing was that Wilson expected him to be there. So Wilson knows that he's got the speed to get there. It's just that Rodon decided not to do it. But so yeah, it is an interesting one, isn't it? We go back to the Palace, the 5-1, the 3-1 was it, where we
when we beat them 4-1.
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, take all that out, Jimmy.
One of the two.
Yeah. You know when we beat them. Just when we beat them. When we beat them at Christmas, and but Rodon was playing on the right side of that game, wasn't it? And that threw Palace completely. Completely. It did throw them. And I feel like Fark is, I was talking to someone the other day at work, and he was like a gentleman from he's from Egypt and something like that. He was like a Liverpool fan or whatever, but he didn't, he was just talking about, all he knew about Leeds was Bielsa, and I thought, well, fair enough. But I was just trying to explain to him that Fark has got a better record, and Fark has literally got better tactics than Bielsa, and I'll probably get beaten up for that. But I feel like, Fark knows what he's doing, and I said to a Coventry fan the other day, just trust your manager, because if you can trust Fark, we're not going to go far wrong. And I feel like the fact that you can put Rodon out on that right side and it works proves that he's got more skills up his.
Yeah, it's like the fact that he's identified that as that he's not just identified the tactics. I mean, if anyone who can sort of have that tactic, like I think Sheffield United a few years ago when they come up, when they had their bloody centre backs doing bombs up the wings.
Yeah.
But the fact that you've got a player, a centre back that can actually do it, and not just do it pretty good as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. I mean, I've always rated Fark. I've never thought he was a bad manager. I thought that, especially watching us in the Championship, and I know the Premier League's a much different and much harder league, but when he had the best players in the league, he dominated all the games pretty much. And you'd like to think that, given you're in a harder league, if you were then given better players in that league, do you know what I'm saying? But the fact that he's adapted and he's changed things about, and I think that he always could do that in the Championship. He just never needed to, because we were so dominant. And I think, like, if there were times in the Championship where we were struggling with his tactics, I think he would have switched it up there a little bit as well. I just think that, like I say, like people say, oh, he plays one way and he won't budge. I think, like I say, he didn't need to. We literally, as I just said, we dominated pretty much every single game in the Championship. So the way we were playing was working, and we just got stuck in a few little games here and there. But you're not going to win every game. Speaking of Fark, mate, the new contract, is that something that you feel is going to happen soon?
Well, he's got another 12 months on his contract yet, hasn't he? And I think, like, reading about it during the week, they were saying that there's a press conference, which I didn't see. I think it was just after the Man United game, where they asked him a few questions about his contract, and obviously he's very dismissive about it. It wasn't about him, it was about the team. And apparently they went at him again after and said, but are you going to sign a new contract? I don't think he's really even thinking about that. I think he's not. I don't want to be like big-headed of him. I don't want him to think that, like, he's bigger than the club, because he obviously isn't. But I think he kind of give that ultimatum, isn't he? Will the 49ers come with me and give me the players I need, or will they not? And that's what he said at the end of last season. So he's like more or less saying, I can do this for you. You give me the right team and the right structure. So do I see him being at Leeds for many years to come? If I was an optimistic person, which I obviously am, I'm not. For everyone who's listening, I would say that
I'm not.
I am not. I would say that Falk will be here for a long time. Do you know what I mean? Especially if the trajectory goes the way the 49ers want us to go. I don't think they'll get rid of him and bring someone else in to push it forward, because I think he knows what he's doing. Now, going back to what you said there about that change of system, where it happened, and everyone always talks about the Man City game and all that, but it more or less changed, I think, at the Palace. At the obsession with Palace, the Chelsea game,
6-1 game.
Yeah, the 7-1 game. The Chelsea game. I think that's where it properly changed, and I think within that first 2 seconds, Bogle was on Kurila. I can't even say his name. Kurila Keller, whatever his name is, the left back. Sideshow Bob. Yeah, that would do. That's even easier to say, isn't it? But yeah, so up to that point, I was probably thinking he's going to be a bit like Bielsa here. He's not going to change his system. He's not going to change anything. We're just going to, because at that point, I think we were losing to Brighton. We lost to Forrest. We were on a bit of a. We weren't playing particularly that well. We were stray passes and stuff like that. And if I do remember, which an insight to my life, that I think we had my birthday party, didn't we? And that was when I said to you, right, I'm going to give Falk is a bit of a genius actually after watching that game today. And that was a Man City game, but I feel like, interest Falk in relation to his contract, don't really care. I think he's going to be someone who sign it. He'll sign it. I think he'll want to be at Leeds. He knows that. He said that the clubs he's managed that and he did really. And to be fair, I hated him when he was at Norwich. To be honest, I really hated him. I didn't like him at all. But he actually talks so much sense, and even like.
Does.
Yeah, he talks a lot. Yeah, and I think that he did say that being at Leeds is more than any other club he's ever been at. So he knows where he is as well. Do you know what I mean? He knows he's at a big club. He knows what's expected from the fans and stuff like that. The only interesting thing I did find about him, that read about him, is that he's into house music. He looks like to me he'd been to Grunge. But there we go.
Happy hardcore.
Yeah, he's into DJing. Yeah.
You know what's funny as well? Because you see people, and again, I don't really interact with people on Twitter. I just like to go and see people, what they say, and they all come up with these mad sort of conspiracy theories about what's going on in Leeds, and it's Falk wants these players, but the 49ers want these players, and they're arguing all the time, and it's I'm like, where'd you get that from? What are you talking about?
No one's arguing with anyone. Yeah,
you know, it's mental. It's obviously they might have their own ideas, but there's a recruitment team. There's a recruitment team that goes in, they identify players. Falk will then obviously sign it off and say, yeah, no, and that's how it works. All this.
Falk did say that he raised the point of Trafford. I know I was obsessed with Trafford, but he did say that he offered, because he said he wanted him at Norwich, he wanted him at different clubs. You know what I mean? He said he's raided him for years. So, maybe that he may have said at that point, I want this lad, and have gone out to try and get him, and obviously got him. But I do believe that all this, and again, I think that's different. Sorry, the point I was trying to raise is a bit different to how we would normally be, because in publications or Leeds want to buy John Barnes, or they want to buy whoever this person is, you know what I mean? And actually, they never buy anyone we've ever heard of, or somebody not anywhere near on the level we were looking at. But with Trafford, he was actually in the eye constantly, wasn't he? Everyone knew that was going to happen. Everyone knew that was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And even I texted my Brewers the other day, because about 4 months ago, I said to them, my Leeds are interested in that LVD defender. So we've been interested in him for quite a long time as well. So they're the only two players I see that who out publicly knowledgeable
Yeah.
of who we're bringing in, but actually everyone else seems to be no one. We didn't know that was going to happen, type of thing. But I don't know
Yeah.
what you. I don't know if you agree with me on that or. But
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, regardless of if you look back in since Fight come in and the 49ers have been there like fully in charge, there's not been many duds in terms of transfers coming in. So regardless of whether it's the recruitment team or facts suggesting players, they all seem to be working and they've all pretty much worked. Jed Spence probably didn't work, but
yeah,
look out, he's a good player, but didn't work for whatever reason. But like I say, 95% of the transfers we've made, they've all pretty much worked.
yeah,
Which I'm now going to go on to transfer business, mate, because
okay,
transfer business, ins and outs,
yeah,
ins and outs. So we've got 3 players in, potentially 4, depending on this Swiss lad that's coming in. 4 transfers in, a few out, got rid of a few. I don't like saying deadwood, just players that we don't need anymore. I
yeah.
can't remember them all, so you're gonna have to help me. So there's Jack Harrison's gone, Wober's gone, Mellier's gone, Darlow's gone. Perot looks like he's about to go.
Pierre's got So
Is there
Pierre's
anyone?
probably gone, and then there's like Beale's gone, hasn't he? Sebastian Bale, he's gone.
Oh yeah, Barnell.
Yeah, but
Barnell's gone. Yeah.
the Barnell was gone. I heard that Leeds have made £30 million on their sales, including because the biggest one was Strout, wasn't it? 18 or something like that. So
Strout's gone.
yeah,
Thank you for that one.
yeah. And I think you'll know what we obviously we've known each other for like nearly 20 years, but you'll know that I'm quite happy with Strout going. I felt like I don't know what he brought to the team. I'm sorry, Pascal, if you ever hear this podcast, but yeah, I mean the
What he
job.
brought to the team.
Yeah, I just don't know what he did. I just feel like he literally like used to pass it to the left back and then get it back and then pass it and that's all he did. And scored like 4 goals or something. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you listen to the podcast, I've always said that Stroud. When someone at one point PSG were after him, I thought, well, this is absolutely mental.
Yeah.
Brighton
don't really buy many duds either, though, do they? Really, Brighton are pretty, So I mean, I actually quite like Stroud. I didn't mind him too much. I thought he was pretty good. Probably should have scored a few more goals, but I always thought he was pretty good with the ball at his feet. I thought he was pretty good passing when he decided to make them passes forward. And do you know what? Do you know what I feel about Stroud? I thought when he first come to the club and I watched him, I thought he was a really good player, really aggressive defender, and I actually quite liked him. And it's almost like, if you remember the Liverpool game when he broke Harvey Elliott's leg.
Yeah,
good tackle. It was a good tackle.
Yeah,
seemed to take a bit out of his game a little bit. I think it did something to him a little bit. But yeah, Stroud was another one I forgot. Is there anyone else I've missed that's gone?
Yeah. There's one more. There's definitely one more. Oh, Perry to Torino.
Oh yeah, because we got rid of all of our keepers. Get out all of the keepers. Apart from Carnes. Carnes is glued to the training ground.
It didn't work for him, did it? To be fair, unfortunately for him. But yeah, I don't know. Again, there's a bit more money coming in. I think like with Pirro, that's a loan, but if they get promoted, they have to buy him, type of thing. So we're not going to make much money on him, but I'm sure they'll get promoted. And then Pirro is 12 million or something like that. So there's 40 million, but that's Trafford straight back, isn't it? You know what I mean? Someone said that if they've got £100 million to spend, they've still got 60 million to spend due to the amount of money they've brought back in and as well. Yeah. So in theory, we should be able to go and buy the best player in the world. So
yeah. Three players in, and we've spoke about Trafford quite for a long time, to be fair. Harry Wilson come in on a free. Tarek Mahamovic, Bosnian, I think he looks class.
Yeah.
I think he just looked like a really good defender. Young as well. Really good.
He's already picked.
Reminds me of Ben White a little bit.
Did actually, yeah. Actually, that, yeah. I actually thought about like that the other day about Ben White, because there's talks of him going to Everton, and I thought, how would he fit back in the Leeds team? But I'm not too sure he would. But yeah, I think this is it. I can't say his name. Is it Tarek? I'm going to call him Tarek.
Tarek Mahamovic.
Yeah, Mahamovic. He they say he's really good with his feet. You know, he can play a good ball.
Helps when you're a footballer, to be fair.
Well, some of them are not, are they? You know what I mean? Some of them are not great with their feet.
No, you're right about that.
Yeah, if you talk about like the Leeds of like only 12 years ago, when he used to get it and I used to just kick it anywhere. That was the defence we used to have in them days, and you had Sylvester in goal and all the other players. But he's already put Justin in his place, hasn't he? He's already put James Justin in his place with the overhead kick. So yeah. So I feel like, great signing. Don't know much about him really. I know that he was the one who got fouled in the World Cup, wasn't it, for that American guy who got sent
Donald
off.
Trump, yeah.
Trump trumped him. So so I know that. Yeah, I don't know much about him. In relation to Harry Wilson, I mean, we all know about Harry Wilson, and we know from the Liverpool days and how good he was for Liverpool and how he really pissed every single Leeds fan off when he played for Derby, and then he obviously went on to Fulham. But I mean, if he plays in that, I know he's going to play in like a 10, maybe 10 to the right a little bit, and if he does, that's amazing, because we'll be playing with Bogle, and I mean they played together at Derby. You know what I mean?
And Rodon.
They'll all know, obviously Rodon on right wing, but they'll all know their place because they're all friends, aren't they? You know what I mean? They work together at Derby. It's all good connections and having good relationships with people, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure Wilson, just because someone has a great season last year, will Wilson have the great season again? Who knows? But they did say that he's still trying to learn the new system anyway, so we'll see how he gets in, because he's still got to learn how Leeds want to play and how Leeds do play. And I don't think that's going to happen until at least October time, November time, before we start getting into a good rhythm of how we play. But great signing again, really, for Freebie. Then again, he's on a good little weekly wage. Do I feel that we need another striker? Probably so. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I like Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I think he's a great worker. He does a lot off the ball as well. I'm not too keen on the Mecha, really. So do we need another striker? Probably so. If we spent 40 million on Delap, would I be really, really annoyed? Probably, because I think Delap's rubbish. There's money to spend, and it's about bringing in the right player, isn't it?
That's it, mate. It's finding that player that's going to complement us, fit into the team, fit into the group. Like touching back on Wilson, like you said, the fact how good of a season that he had last year, and the fact that we've got him on free. I mean, his wages might be a bit high, but the fact we've got him on a free, I think it's a quality bit of business. There's probably a few clubs after him, but it's coming, and it might take him a little bit of time. But if it doesn't, if it doesn't work out for him, it doesn't work out for us. We didn't pay any money for him, so it's not massive, and we could probably make some money on him if it doesn't work out. But I think it's a good signing. I'm at liberty to think that we probably definitely need another striker. Well, I think we'll see one coming now. Pro's gone or going. Obviously need another backup keeper. Cover for left back. I don't know. Do we need cover for left back? We've got I know Justin can play there, but I am more inclined to think that I prefer a left-footed player playing there. He can do a job. Do you know what I mean, Justin? Defensively, he's decent, but it's the attacking threat that Goodmanson gives us that I want that sort of backup. But saying that, Goodmanson didn't do any assists or goals last year. He should have, because he got into some great positions with his pace.
I think, like you said, when Justin played at that, the dynamic of that left side changed, didn't it? Really, because when Goodmanson plays, you have a four and him overlapping each other, and it's a really good system. The fact that, like you just said, that statistic kind of shocks me a little bit, but it's true.
Yeah.
As in, statistics of goals and how many times he set anyone up. But it was really good to watch, really good football to watch. Something happened in that Chelsea game, which is really probably setting back a bit, maybe, is in the semi-final, where for some reason Fat refused to take him off after, even though he couldn't even, and then everyone wanted to pass him the ball for some reason, didn't they? It was all going to him.
Yeah.
It's all like, But I feel like he doesn't seem to recover from that, because it was hit and miss whether he was going to play in the World Cup as well at one point, and then he's come back and done his back in. But I feel like, I hope he doesn't say, like some players get injured and then they're always injured. I just hope he's not one of them players. So the fact that we need another left back, probably we do need another left back. But I was going to say about
left back, wing back type thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
we need.
But I think if it's a very hard position to do, isn't it? Because I feel like I said about the goalie as well. Will you want to come to Leeds United and be just a reserve goalie for a bit? We don't want it to be number one. We don't want it to fight for your position, because we've got James Trafford. And that's the same for the. We've got.
But you know what? It's like you mentioned about us going to somebody and saying, "Do you want to be a backup left back?" Last season was probably more of a thing that we would have done that just to fill the squad out a little bit more. But they have basically stated they're buying players that can improve the first team if they come in. So it's whether you're going to back yourself to come in and take the spot. Do you know what I mean? It's like if good to have two players that can play in the position. If you're good enough and you think you can come in and overtake Goodmanson, then it is what it is. Coming on to the because obviously we chased Shea Charles for a bit. We got to that point where we're like, okay, this is how much we're going to give you. We're not going any higher than that. He obviously ended up going to Fulham. See, it's not a position that we needed, but I do then think if we'd have got that player in, I do then think player goes out. I think that was a bit of a look to the future. He's a decent player, look to the future, but we don't need that position to be filled. So I think if we'd have managed to get him in, I think we'd have seen a sale, possibly Tanaka.
Yeah, I'm not too bothered about that. I mean, like Tanaka again.
But now
he can play really well, can't he? And Tanaka can
give the ball away and they score.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. So I feel like talking about it, I said earlier about Underwood and all these other people who do all these contracts and stuff. Brilliant, because the value they've got is actually we rate Shea Charles at 26 million pound, and that's what we're going to offer. Oh, but he's 30. He's 30, and you think, it's only 4 million. No, because we don't value him at 30 million, and I think that's a great way of working it out. As I say, we value him at it's 26 million pound. Let him be 26 million pound. But if you want to offer 30, you carry on. And last year, a lot of fans were a bit annoyed about that, because Sunderland did that, didn't they? For a few players we went for, and they went into Sunderland. But again, they were like, well, no, we're not paying that money. And I think that's a good value to have, because if they value the player, and I know I keep banging on about it, but Trafford is proving that they will spend the cash, or Marek, Tarek, they will definitely spend the cash if they thought the player was the right player for the team. So did they, like you just said, did they really think that Charles was going to do anything different? Probably not. And like you say, would it be a case of getting rid of Gruev or Tanaka, and the way the fitness levels are, it probably would have been Tanaka. And there is a lot of teams who want Tanaka, to be fair. I mean, there's Premier League teams I've heard want Tanaka, but I'm happy with our midfield.
Yeah, me too. I mean, before the pre-season, I would have probably said Longstaff as well, but I just think it's been really good. I mean, I'd rather keep him now. I just think he's a good player to have. Like you say, talk about experience. He's a perfect example. He's a good player. He can score you a goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the problem with Longstaff that time last year is that he got injured, didn't he? Because like Fark doesn't like to make many changes, and he got injured.
No.
And then Tanaka came in, and we were all a bit. I think it was Tanaka who came in for him rather than Gruev at the time, I think. And he literally found his position in the team, didn't he? And Longstaff was out of it again. But so there is that to bear in mind. But yeah, against Man United, he controlled the Leeds midfield, and having him and Ampadu in the midfield and playing it through to Aronson or Wilson. We're not going to do, and then pass it on to the best player in the world, whoever that will be, to score the goals. That will be amazing, won't it? So,
yeah. To be fair, like
you're going to have to get this bit out because I can't think of his name. So, is it Rafael Leao or Leao? Rafael, yeah, but is it
Rafael Leao?
Yeah, Rafael. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of talk about him coming to Leeds. There's a lot of talk going to every other club in the Premier League, but would he fit the Leeds system? Is he brilliant at going forward and doing all the other little bits? Yes, he is, but is he going to track back? Because, I mean, even like you look at, I know like fitness levels, but Okafor looked absolutely fucked halfway through them games last year, didn't he? Looking back, he's not used to coming back all the time. Would he fit it? So, he might be a great player, but would he fit in the team? So I don't know. What do you think? Would you think he'd fit into the Leeds team?
I think a player of his quality. I think there's certain players where you forego that. Maybe he doesn't do the defensive work, but he's gonna do something special when he's on the ball, and especially when we play the 3-5, it's almost not as imperative that he gets right the way back. As long as if you watch us now, we tend to, when we're against the ball, we tend to just get into a shape. As long as that's happening, I mean, but I'd absolutely take him, to be honest with you. I think like you say, great competition for Okafor, and you talk about Trafford and the extra points that he's going to win you. I think you get the same with him as well. Other than him, is there anybody on your radar that you think I wouldn't mind having in my team? Before we move on to the predictions of the season.
No, because I think it's quite hard really to say who you'd want and who you wouldn't want. Do you want somebody who is a fox in the box? Yeah. Do you want someone someone who's going to score your goals? Yeah. Do you want somebody who's going to entertain you? Yes, you do. You do. The fact that I was privileged enough to watch Fafrino week in, week out was amazing. And yes, do we want players like that playing for Leeds United? Of course we do. So I couldn't give you a name of anyone really, Jimmy. I feel like if it was like, again, someone like Leon Bilap or something like that, I'd be fuming. But I'd have to pinch Mark next to me at the games. So
when he's like this close up to you,
yeah, standing there. No, good lad. He's a good lad.
I like Mark. I do like
Mark. I feel like no, I don't have any names, but I mean, like Peixao keeps being mentioned all the time. Again, another left winger. So if that happens, are we going to lose like Nonto or James? We probably will. I always think that last year we were let down by the amount of goals we scored. So do we need?
We need another forward, definitely.
Yeah.
I think with Bro going, I think a forward comes in.
What would you say to something like Grealish? Would you have Grealish in the team? As in, like,
I'd have Grealish.
I don't know where that came from, but he's obviously not going to be playing for Man City. I mean, if he's going to play for Everton, why doesn't he come to Leeds?
I'd take Grealish.
Yeah.
I mean, how old is he now? He's getting on a bit now, isn't he? It's like 29. Yeah.
He probably can meet us.
I'll take Grealish.
He'd probably meet us in the bar afterwards as well for a drink, wouldn't he? As well, so
yeah. There was talk of Harvey Elliott as well.
Yeah, Harvey Elliott, but
yeah, I mean, there's a few. For me, it's obviously we need the backup keeper. That's one thing that's going to happen. It will happen. It's getting a forward in, getting a top quality forward in, and I think that is what we're going to be aiming to do. I think that, especially now, as I say earlier, Pro's gone. I think that's the position that we're going to be looking for next. Right, let's get on to the predictions, mate.
Okay.
Let's get on to predictions of the season. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Right. First. I'm going to ask you, where do you think we're going to finish?
This is not an interesting one because we kind of more or less spoke about it.
We have.
I have said we will finish in and around 10th or 11th.
You know what? I'm going to take 10th off, yeah? I'm going to take 10th.
Yeah.
Because what we're going to do, we'll revisit these at the end of the season and see how well we did. I'm going to, because I did this thing on TikTok the other day. It's like one of them league things to predict. And optimistically, Leon predicted us to finish 7th.
Would I be shocked at that? I still wouldn't be shocked at that either. I feel
better than
like
last year. I predict.
Well, last year again, I feel like I was always confident that we'd stay up as well, especially with our home form. I mean, some bloke comes to collect our confidential waste at work, and he's a Coventry fan, and he was just saying, "Oh, if we win 15 games at home, if we like draw 10 away," I'm thinking, what kind of like planet is this?
What was in that waste?
Yeah,
that was collecting.
I was like, nodding my head, going, yeah. I agree with you totally. You're obviously going to go and win the league, then, aren't you? The way, but it's good to have ambition. It's a bit like it. Yeah, it's a bit like Jimmy, isn't it? You know, when Jimmy says we're going to win 16 games today. But yeah, if we finish 7th, basically, would I be shocked? No. Would I be happy? Yes. The fact that we finished 10th or 11th is good. Hopefully, that doesn't mean we go into Europe, because I feel like that might trouble a few teams this year who've got into Europe due to the amount of games, and we don't think we've got enough squad to enable us to keep going for the whole season the year after. So yeah, 10th or 11th. You've gone for 11th. If you finish 10th, I'll make sure that I said 10th, because I've saved.
No, I've said 10th, mate. I'm taking 10th off, yeah, because that's the highest one, and that's what I like to do. Take the highest one. I'm saying, listen, I agree with you in the sense of the European thing. I think it's almost like if you're not one of the big, and I say big six because Tottenham were in the bloody Champions League, they ended up finishing 17th. So, but it's almost like a hindrance to teams now when you get into Europe, because the money in the other competitions that isn't the Champions League isn't great, and it doesn't allow you to adapt your squad properly to be able to play in both. So one of them suffers. So for me, getting to 7th, probably getting to Europe, then the next season after that, I would say, okay, just don't really worry about in Europe too much. Just play, use it like a League Cup. Just play like the second string team if you've got one, and just still concentrate on the league and just keep building the building. But yeah, I'm gonna go 7th. You're gonna go. You've said 10th. You said 10th for 11th. I'll take 10th off. Yeah. Next we'll go. I'll tell you what. You can pick the next topic, mate. What do you want to pick? Prediction.
Okay, how many clean sheets are we going to?
I was very optimistic last year, mate. I predicted us to get 9 clean sheets last year, and we got 8. We were 1 off. I won't go too mad. I'll go 12. 12 clean sheets.
I've gone for 10.
10 for 11th.
10 or 11.
So your answer's 10?
Yeah.
Who's going to get sacked? 10.
Number 10. 10. I feel like, again, the Trafford thing will be a better influence. And actually, with you just saying that, I feel like I didn't know we'd kept that many amount of clean sheets last year, to be fair.
Yeah, 8
So I might even go for like 14 or something then, Jimmy, because I feel like, having Trafford there is definitely massive. Yeah.
You locking in that answer? You locking in 14? Yeah.
I hope he doesn't get injured now in the first game against Forrest or something, and he's out for the season or something. But
yeah, we've got Cairns, mate. Don't worry about it. England's number 1.
England's number 1. Yeah, we've got a good defense going there, and people will be fearing it. I mean, the Forest manager's already talking about how good Leeds are, and I don't think he's even seen us play yet. So, Glasner, yeah, he's talking about it today.
Yeah, we beat him 8-1 when he was at Palace, didn't we? Remember?
17-0, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go next topic. I'll go Player of the season for Leeds United. Who are you going for?
Right, just sorry, I'm going to go for just having a quick look at my list there. I've got a little list on the side.
It's all right. Look at your
yeah.
list. List it.
List of things to do. Surprisingly, it's James Trafford. I feel like
I'm gonna. Sorry, mate. I'm gonna just say the same. I was gonna say that as well. But go on. What's your reasonings?
Well, for me, I feel like goalies are not normally classed as a player of the season. Will be player of the season, but everything else I know about him and watched about him, everything I've heard about him, he's got to be up there. And the fact that he comes from Cumbria, my cousin comes from Cumbria, and so he's told me that anyone who comes from Cumbria is amazing. So, yeah. So so that's sold it for me. It was either going to be him or Cairns, but Trafford got it. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, like the fact that I had a big smile on my face and my wife said, "Oh, Leeds have just signed Trafford, then haven't they?" I don't normally, you know me very well. I don't normally get happy and excited about.
You don't normally smile at your wife, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. I don't normally get excited about signings and stuff. But yeah, the Trafford one really made me think. Yes, glad that's over the line. I'm glad he's signed. Yeah, both gone for Trafford.
I'll take Trafford. Yeah, I think it's just going to be one of them. Like you say, I think he could possibly be here for a long time and just really be a sort of like, I don't like to use the word legend, but like a Nigel Martin type sort of affinity for the fans. I think he could be that, and he could take us. He could, like I say, he could take us to the next step in our progression to winning the league in a couple of years. But yeah, Trafford for me as well. Go on, you can pick the next.
I was going to say, I wonder if he's into house music or grunge. I don't know. He looks like to me he's into like a bit of grunge music. So
bit of country for me. Ding, 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 ding.
You think? Yeah, I don't know. It looks like he could do a bit of headbanging and a bit of his Napalm Death or something like that. He could be into.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So okay, let's go for the first manager to be sacked.
First manager to be sacked. Go on, I'll let you say it. No, I'll say it because you've picked. I'm gonna go. I was gonna say Lampard just for funny effects, but I actually think Coventry are gonna survive. I'm gonna go. See, Glasner's a good shout to be sacked first because there's that Forrest and that fucking Marinakis is an absolute head case. So, but I think some players in Forest I quite like. I'm gonna go Fulham manager.
I think they're like one of the favourites to be relegated, which is an interesting thing. Fulham, they're really like not doing very well for next year in like the odds and stuff. But I have gone for what's his name? I've gone for Regis de la Brise.
Oh, Sunderland. That's
Sunderland. I feel like they will struggle in the second season. I think if they don't particularly start off well, because they started off really well last year, and they finished off quite poor towards the end of the season. I think if they don't start well, they might have to change. I haven't got Sunderland to be relegated, but I've got him to be sacked.
Yeah,
I think maybe Lampard will take over at Sunderland.
Depends how well he does at Cobb. To be fair, we can't deny that Sunderland did do well last year. They got into Europe. Yeah, it was brilliant. But as you say, they the second half of the season they did struggle a bit. And also as well, people sort of overlook is they massively overperformed their stats from where they should have been, whereas we did the opposite. We sort of underperformed our stats.
Yeah.
So we should have finished higher. They should have finished a bit lower. So I think when you're in this league, stuff like that catches up on you, and it can bite you in the arse. So it's not a bad shout, to be fair. I think I had them predicted to finish quite low in that little league thing I did. But yeah, so you're gone. Reggie de Brise, and I've gone the Fulham manager. I don't want to say his name because I can't remember how it's pronounced. So next topic, I'll go top scorer for Leeds United.
So the top scorer I have got is whoever we buy.
We did that last season, mate. We did the
Yeah,
same thing last
as in
season.
like
We signed him.
if we buy someone who is, I don't know, world class or some kind of ability, I'll put my money on him. So it is unknown at the moment. But would I say Dominic Calvert-Lewin at the moment? Probably yes, but he hasn't got much competition around him because I
No,
don't.
it's fine.
I can't see Wilson. I can't see like Wilson getting as many goals as he got last year and stuff like that. But he might get more assists. But I think whoever we buy. So Liam Delap.
I'm gonna back Big DCL. I think he started the preseason pretty well. I think that's gonna benefit him going into the season. He managed what 14, 15, and he sort of
Yeah,
started scoring around Christmas time, didn't he? I'll back DCL to finish top scorer. You've gone new signing / Liam Delap.
yeah.
Assists. Who are you going for?
I have gone for
Top
Wilson
assists for
for that.
Leeds.
I have gone for Wilson. I
You know
think
who won the top assist for us last year?
Amundsen. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
Brendan
Amundsen.
Aronson, man.
I just the only problem I have with Amundsen is that, which no one will ever know this bit, but it's a bit like David from football, where he'll just take on that extra person for no reason whatsoever when he can just pass the ball. When he only has to do. He'll
So
take on.
Dave doesn't watch this.
Yeah, Dave doesn't even like Leeds, but I don't even know who Dave supports, to be honest. But Derby maybe. But I feel like Amundsen, he'll do some great work, some great movement, and then just lose it. Yeah, and that's the only
He has
thing.
his good moments as well.
Yeah,
But yeah, I know what you mean. He took
yeah,
his goal well against Man United.
he did. Yeah,
I'm gonna
honest, wasn't it?
I'm gonna go again. Same sort of reasoning I have for DCL. I think getting a decent pre-season with us, and also what I noticed about him last year was when he started playing for us. It took him a little bit of time to get up to the speed of the game. That once he did, he was like we wanted him in the team all the time. I'm gonna go Anton Stack for top assists this year. I think that go on. What are you gonna say?
I like Stack. I forgot all about Stack. He's my favourite player last year. Some of the stuff I mean, like I just like he's a bit of a warhorse, isn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I've gone for Wilson because I think he'll be the playmaker that they want to go through to do it.
I know what you mean.
You could even talk about Ampadu, couldn't you, with throw-ins and all the other little bits. So it's still.
Oh yeah, but it's usually the second. It's the second little dink that gets the assist on it. But with the thing I was thinking about Wilson. The reason I didn't say Wilson is because there's always that fear of like you say, there might be a little bit of time for him to get up to speed with us, and to really judge us, the players around him and that. But it's he's got the ability and he's got the quality to do it. But yeah, you've gone Wilson. I've gone Stack. What we got left?
So we've got the relegated teams and who's going to win the league, top 4 type thing.
Right, we'll go champions first. I'll go on. Who do you think's winning the league?
Well, only because I think they had a bad season last year, but they should come back stronger. I've gone for Liverpool.
Okay.
I think great players, haven't they? They just didn't gel for the first season. Maybe new managers in there as well. Great manager.
Yeah, I really rate Iriola, but it's that when he first went into Bournemouth, it took them a while. There was almost like fear of him getting sacked quite early on when he first started. Yeah. It took him a little bit of time. Obviously, Liverpool, they've got a lot more quality, better players. So yeah, I mean, if it clicks for him and he gets the best out, because obviously they've spent a lot of money on the players last year, like Isaac and Wirtz and stuff. But yeah, I've gone Brentford. No, I ain't really. No, I predicted them to get relegated last year. Fucking hell.
Well, to be fair, we've got that to come yet, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm going Arsenal, mate. I think all the other teams have had a little bit of a shake up in the summer. I think Arsenal, they've won the league now. They've obviously bought some more players. I reckon they're going to win it again. I don't think Man City. I don't like Maresca. Think he's garbage, but that'll probably come back to bite me in my ass as well. I'll go Arsenal.
They've gone worse.
Go on.
They've gone worse, ain't they? Man City are worse now than where they were at the end of this. Yeah.
Yeah, lost Rodri as well, didn't they? He's gone to Barcelona.
Today,
Go on then. Who are you relegating? Who are you sending back to the Championship, or maybe not back?
The easiest thing to say is I'm not going to go into too much detail about the first two because it's Hull and Ipswich. I've got them straight to go down. I don't think I know like Ipswich has spent quite a lot of money, but I don't know what they've really spent it on. Yeah, I don't know what they've actually spent it on. And if anything from last year's or a couple of years ago's performances, they've still got the Jack Clarks of this world, and they've still got all these other players.
Manager for me. They've got Gary O'Neill in, haven't they?
Yeah, Gary O'Neill. But the one, it's very strict. So like my mate today, he's it's a bit irrelevant really, but he's a GP at this where I work, and but he's a Newcastle fan, and he was saying that he's now confident that they will get relegated due to the amount of people they've lost and the spine of their team is gone, and they've lost so many like experienced players, and that's where the stat from earlier I was reading about the 881 Premier League appearances is just evaporated, and they've got no one with any Premier League. All the 9 players they've bought, none of them have got any Premier League experience, and the average, which could be a good thing, the average age is 22. So they've got a young team coming through. I haven't gone for Newcastle. I haven't gone for Brentford either, even though I think they'll have a worse season than they did last season. And actually, we could, like we said earlier, you could have chose Fulham, could have chose Palace. There's a lot of teams which I think will be. We could have chose Coventry. All of these teams are going to be below Leeds, but I did go for Sunderland.
Oh fucking hell! That's a big call. That is. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I can like we spoke about a minute ago and about the performances and how it dipped, and you can catch up with you, especially playing in Europe as well. It depends what they go for, how they approach Europe. But it's not massively out of the realms of possibilities. I've gone for Fulham.
Definitely, yeah.
I don't know. I just think they might go down. Lost Wilson, lost Jimenez, lost the manager. I know they've got, like I said, I've predicted them to get sacked as well. So like I haven't got a lot of faith in Fulham. My mum's team as well. So I hope they don't. But I feel it's the end of the Premier League for Fulham this year. Is there any topic? Is there any categories I've missed? Is that it?
Let's go have a quick look at my little list. Sorry. So we did have.
I remember one. I remember the other one. So yeah, so we've both gone. I've got to mention I've gone Hull and Ipswich as well. Yeah, and then Fulham, and you've gone Sunderland, Hull, and Ipswich. The other category is crazy, like the crazy shout of the season, like something that no one expects. A bit like Sunderland getting into Europe, Brentford having the season they had, like a crazy story. What do you think it's going to be?
So a crazy story, which is the one I've been keep banging on about. James Trafford. Is Leeds United will buy a world-class striker, and that person will push them into the top 10.
Liam Delap.
I bet he'll sign now and score about 50 goals or something. We look a bit silly, but I'm very happy for Leeds to buy someone outrageous. You know, bit of a, even if it's like a Yeboah or something like that, somebody who's going to be a named person for years to come, and we're still talking about it 30 years later about someone who's done something for Leeds.
Yeah.
You know, to bring us back into, I know this, people will say, well, that's stupid, but do I really want us in the Champions League? Like I said earlier, I don't really care for going to the Champions League next year or whatever, but
no.
Do I want them in the Champions League in 2-3 years' time? Probably you do, yeah. But someone who can pushes that probably to that level, you know, and wants to be here and wants to a bit like a bit like Bielsa, really, wasn't it? You know, he came out of the blue and he
Yeah.
was a good manager. And he changed the whole dynamic of football. I'm not saying that one player is going to do that, but if you get a player who can just score goal after goal after goal, you know, and I'm not saying it's a crazy shout, but it's a crazy kind of theory that Leeds can do that,
Yeah.
and now they can do it. So let's go ahead with it.
Not a bad shout, mate. So, yep, that's yours. Mine, my crazy shout of this season. What's going to happen? I think Maresca gets sacked before the end of the season.
That's it. Yeah, I think that's just an obvious thing, Jimmy.
You think it's obvious?
Yeah,
I don't think they operate like that anymore. But
I think
yeah,
he's rubbish.
Is that not crazy enough for you?
No,
All right then.
mine's rubbish, and I thought yours would be better than mine. It wasn't, so
Crazy shout. Okay, let me up it. Let me up the shout. 3 of the big 6 managers get sacked.
oh.
The big 6.
Well, okay, I'll beat that. Leeds will be losing 3-0 at half time to Man United, and I'll be getting inundated with text messages from loads of Man United fans, and then Leeds will win 4-3, and that's the crazy shout. Leeds will be 3-0 down against Man United.
Crazy. We do like to come from behind.
We do, mate. Liverpool.
And Man United.
Man United.
Not Wrexham though. We could come back and beat them, could we?
We'll beat Liverpool. Yeah, 4-2.
Right, so they're the predictions for the season. They're the predictions for the season. We'll come back at the end of the season and we will address these and we'll have a look and see how well we've done.
Yeah.
So moving on, first game of the Premier League season this weekend. So we've got on Friday, we've got Arsenal versus Coventry City, champions versus champions. Arsenal going to win that, aren't they?
Yeah, I think maybe if it was at the CBS or whatever they call it these days, if it was there, maybe there might have been a chance. First game of the season. Yeah, can't call it Sixfield, Highfield Road. That there could have been an opportunity there, maybe for them to get something. But being at Arsenal, I don't think it's gonna. Maybe. No, I'll go for like something like 3-0.
Anyway, let's just fly through these. So we've got Hull Man United. Man United win that, yeah.
Yeah.
Everton Palace.
1-1. Just go for a draw.
Boring game that is.
It sounds really boring.
Boring game. Probably be like a 5-4 game now. That will be. Ipswich Sunderland.
Another boring game, but I think Ipswich might get something from that, as in a win.
They're at home as well, so yeah, possibly. Then we've got Brentford Spurs at Brentford. Move on to Sunday. We've got.
Can I just say something? So you just mentioned a few teams there. So even like Forrest, even like Spurs, you know, these are the teams I still think will be down the bottom of the league. So when you've just said there, like, Spurs are playing, you know, will they easily win? And Brentford. I think Brentford are going to be down there this year. I know, like we said this last year, but I feel that, you know, I think that, Leeds are in a better position than they were like 12 months ago, and your teams have got worse. So sorry I've interrupted you there, but I think there's all these teams. Okay. These teams are going to be much lower than people probably think they're going to be. I mean, like Spurs have bought all these players, and everyone's raving on about them. But through the other end, they're getting rid of players as well. So and they get rid of big name players. So yeah, I think that Spurs could be still in trouble. Anyway, sorry.
So right. Then we move on to Sunday. We've got Brighton Villa, Man City Bournemouth, Newcastle Liverpool, the old Newcastle Liverpool game to start the season, and then on Monday we've got Fulham Chelsea. And we have obviously got Nottingham Forest away from home, and then we play them again straight away at City Ground again. We might as well just stay there.
Just camp outside. Use the burger van outside for breakfast and for lunch and stuff. 2 different games, 2 different teams. First game Forest. probably to me a team who probably going to be down the bottom as well.
Yeah.
Got some good players. Don't get me wrong, but playing them early.
I like Gibbs White.
Yeah, I've got him down on my little list to say that that's the benefit for them is Gibbs White and stuff like that. But yeah, I just think that'd be too. If we didn't get it, it sounds a bit silly, really. If I look, because I'm out for the day, so I'm actually going to miss the game on Saturday. But if I look at the result after and we've won 2-3-1, I'm not going to go, oh my god, that's brilliant. I'll just think, yeah, fair enough. We knew that.
So what are you thinking? 3-1, 2-1, 3-1?
Yeah. If we lost it, I'll probably think, maybe. What the fuck was Trafford doing?
Supposed to be the hero of the season, you twat.
Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Get him out of that team.
Put Carnes in.
But yeah, the one on Tuesday will be a completely different team, won't it? It'll be a bit of a Dan James, Nonto kind of. Well, I think Nonto might be injured, but yeah, it will be a different team. I suspect it won't be the same game. Will I be hoping to get tickets tomorrow? Probably for that one, but you can't beat a Tuesday night on the Trent. I don't know, but yeah.
Can't. What you saying? What's your prediction for the first Premier League game of the season against Nottingham Forest at the City Ground?
We're going to win 3-1.
Owen Clough, punch him in the throat. You're going to win 3-1.
Yeah.
3-1. Okay, so as you all know, my predictions are always out of this world, but I'm gonna try and be a bit more normal this season and try and predict proper scores. I'm still going to predict us to win every game, by the way. I'm just going to tell you that, but I'm not going to be. So I'm going to go 12-0. No, I won't really. I'm going to go 2-0. I think clean sheet, first game of the season. Good defense, good keeper. 2-0. I'm going to go 2-0. Scorers, I think I'm going to go Calvert-Lewin and Stack. I'm going to go Calvert-Lewin and the Stack goal for this Saturday.
Well, I'm going to go for Payshal to score a hat-trick. So he's got
brand new signing. Liam Delap.
He's got two days to sign. So yeah, as long as we win, it's all about development, isn't it? And like you said, the first couple of games is about how it all goes. But yeah, looking forward to the season. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, man. We're back, baby. We're back. It's been a excruciating summer because the World Cup was shit. I felt. I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't get the vibes out. I didn't feel it. Do you know what I'm saying, mate? I just didn't.
Wales weren't there, was it?
That's why, yeah. All of our team weren't there. All the Leeds team weren't there. But yeah, so I'm just chuffed that we're back. I'm just chuffed that we're going to get to see this progression of this team under the manager, new players that can come straight into the team and improve the team. I've got really high hopes for the season, and I think we're going to do well. A lot of people are predicting us to do well, and usually it tends to follow suit. I hope we're not, that team that go. We're not going. I'm never going to put it in the atmosphere.
Well, I was going to say just to be pessimistic that we are 7-1 to get relegated. So Man United are 5,000-1 to get relegated.
I mean,
it's worth a tenner, ain't it?
Could we? Could it happen? No. This is the first podcast of this new season. Please, everybody, subscribe, share, and hope this. Get your comments in on the videos because obviously we're not live now, so you can't speak to us while we're on here. So get all your comments on the video. Get your predictions in on what you think, how the season's going to go, with your top scorers and all that jazz. This has been White's Noise with me, James, and Leon. Thank you for taking your time out, Leon, to join me on this podcast. I hope you enjoy it throughout the season. We will be back at the weekend. Well, I will be back at the weekend. Hopefully, Leon will be joining me to talk about.
I've got another one. Sorry, Jimmy. I haven't talked to you.
Go on, mate. All right.
You can do it again. Sorry, I was going to just say I've got a Coventry. I'm doing a Coventry podcast later, and then I've got a Man United podcast, and then I just changed my shirt. So
I've got a Brentford one.
yeah,
I'm just going to put a bag on my head.
yeah. Sorry, you can say that again.
Yeah. So please, guys, enjoy, and I'll see you at the weekend. Say bye, Leon.
I will say bye. Thank you.